never know if you're talking to me or you're just talking to the audience.
I'm talking to the audience. Hello, and welcome to What Are Y'all Talking About? The podcast where we just jump on the bandwagon of what everyone else is talking about and we give our opinion and no one asks. We do little to no research, but we fully give our opinion and we're usually wrong.
Well, are we?
No, we're not. We're not. I am actually more right than you.
No way. I feel like I'm completely on point most of the time.
Okay.
You come with very controversial decisions and choices and sides.
Right. That's what I think I'm opening minds. I'm opening minds and brains.
Oh, interesting. And I am squashing your crazy theories. But other than that, interesting.
I forgot. There is something I want to talk about before we talk about anything else real quick.
Let's do it.
You literally just reminded me once you said squash dreams. Do you know what I'm gonna fucking talk to you about? Do you know what I'm about to tell you?
Zero clue, but I do know that dreams are back on this year. And so
dreams are back on. Dreams aren't dead. Dreams are back on. 2023, dreams are back on. Dreams died 2016. We all know why, but they're back on. Okay, we let dreams.
That's almost a decade of bye-bye dreams. So now that
I mean, yeah.
So we're coming back in full force. But no, I can't even begin to imagine what dream.
Interesting. You just said, and you're here to kill dreams, and I can't believe you don't remember what you said to me, what you did to me, and why we have deep beef.
And I have,
dear audience,
why am I sweating?
Dear audience, my co-host over here, the beautiful Jacqueline, Jackie, whatever you want to call her, I had said what my dream job was. My dream job is to co-host with Noel the Great British Bake Off.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's so nice.
That is my dream job. And you did not have this dream job. This was my dream job. And you said, me too. Wait, that's a great dream job. Me too. And you stole it. You said, I'd love to do that. Ooh, love that dream. Love to steal it.
I didn't say me too. No, I said, did not love that dream for you. Wasn't going to steal from you. I said, no, I will be the co-host with Noel because I'm more adequately prepared for this than you are. You tried to pawn me off onto Blue Steel to be a judge, and that's not what I came for. I'm not there to be a judge. I only bake cookies.
Exactly.
But I know a little bit about baking in different areas where you know zero. So who would be better suited?
Right, which means you are already not qualified for the job. You have to go in knowing nothing.
You can't tell me that Noel isn't qualified and doesn't know about baking at this point in time. He comes in every single season. So he knows about flour. He knows about sugar, rolling pins. He knows probably what a madeleine is. He knows what a macaron is. So
everything you just said is nothing to me.
Noel, exactly. You just showed your qualifications.
All I know is it's delicious. No. All I know is Noel doesn't know how to bake. He reads the cards and he delivers lines. And then he just goes and has a fun time with the bakers and then eats their food and talks about it and talks to them and has cute little conversations. The bakers are Paul Hollywood and Prue. And you came in and that's the position that you should be eyeing for. You should be, or a baker or a contestant. But you are coming after my dream job? What?
First and foremost, I didn't know that you were so into this, that you loved Noel that much.
I don't love Noel. I love the Great British Bake Off. And I think Noel and I would be a great hosting pair.
I feel like you're better for maybe more like the Great American Suburban Bake Off.
Get fucked, bitch. I cannot believe you just said that to me. Hey, I cannot believe you just said that to me. What a fucking offense. I've been called some dirty ass shit. That was such a low blow. I don't even fuck with any other version of the Great British or the Great American, the Great whatever Bake Off. There's no other Bake Off besides the Great British Bake Off. But the fact that you would come into my own home and talk to me like that, you might as well hit me with a car.
And that's what I'm telling you. I'm willing to go head to head with Noel and these contestants. And I don't think you are. I think you're whining and complaining. Get out of the tent. It's too hot. The oven is too hot. Get out. I'm sorry. I'm here for it. I could do it. I know enough, but not a lot about the baking world. I could be in for it. Do you know what lamination is?
No, and that's what Noel does. Noel goes up to them and says, "What are you doing?" And they tell him while they're frantically baking. They're like, "I'm baking this. I have to make sure it's at this temperature, and we're doing it so perfect." You'll be standing there being like, "You're doing it wrong. That's not what I would do." Nuh-uh. Okay. That's Paul and Prue's job. That's not Noel and the co-host's job.
Oh my goodness.
I would just be like, okay, great. Yeah. Okay. Cause sounds cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I compliment their artistry. You know how I'm a complimenter of artistry.
Well, you are very good at art. I'll give you that.
The fact that you came in and stole my dream job. And by the way, normally I would say if we share dreams, great, let's encourage each other. Let's empower each other. I even suggested to you, hey, I'll get the Great British Bake Off. You can have the American Bake Off.
Do you see what you just did there?
But,
and here I am. I'm going to squash your dreams yet again. No. You and your suburban moms who think that they're on, not even on... You can be on a local.
I'm of the two of us. Of the two of us, you think I'm the suburban mom of the two of us? Wild, because you're actually the suburban mom, and it's wild that you think that anything about me is suburban mom over you. Wild that you're saying that. It's not even like an offensive thing that you're calling me a suburban mom. Shouts out suburban moms. It's just wild that of the two of us, you think that that's how I would be described.
No, I think that the suburban.
How many car seats are in your car? Just checking.
2.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to check.
But let me be very clear with you that the suburban moms would find you hysterical. And the whole point is to not outshine Noel, that I would just be complimentary to him. You, on the other hand, would be constantly trying to one-up Noel, and you just can't do that. So you need to be pulled back where you would get to shine. Remember, it's like big fish, small pond. You can be the big fish, small pond.
True. I think we would have great chemistry. I think we would have a great friendship. Whatever bits he was into, I would fully participate in his bits that he wanted to write and he wanted to do. And in fact, Matt, who's leaving as co-host, thank God, I always thought was trying to outshine Noel. And I was like, no, you should be in on this together.
Exactly what I'm saying, though. That's what happens when two like really funny people try to do the same thing. It just doesn't work. It's a little oil and water. And here I am.
You're saying you're unfunny?
No, I'm not saying I'm funny. Because out of the two of us, you're definitely funnier, for sure. Like, there's no question about that. You're welcome.
Thank you. That helps the burn of the insult of trying to get me onto Great American.
Not Great American, Great Suburban.
Oh, shit. There's a worse version?
There isn't.
Of Bake Off?
But I'm just saying, if there were, I feel like that would be the right avenue. This just might be something you should just, enjoy watching from afar.
Whoa. You are continuing to make it worse. Like, hey, not only am I going to steal your dream job, I hope you enjoy it from the comfort of your own home. I hope you love watching me.
That's correct. With your box of Kleenex. I do love the fact that you and I both really do truly enjoy that show, though.
Obsessed. I'm obsessed with the Great British Bake Off.
Are you mesmerized by Paul Hollywood's eyes?
No, I don't have sexual feelings like most people do towards Paul Hollywood. But you also have matching eyes.
No, his are way more. His are way more.
Way more blue?
Yeah, like pools of like sapphires, yeah.
Oh shit, bitch. The way you're talking is very telling.
Just for the record, I'm a very happily married woman, and I am obsessed with my husband and his beautiful turquoise eyes. So
okay,
there's that as well.
All right. Great. Love your husband, not Paul Hollywood. Okay, whatever. Everyone knows about your spank bang now. But what I'm saying is I'm horny for the food. I'm here for the food. I'm here for the pastries, for the baked goods.
When Paul Hollywood and Prue cut into whatever they're about to sample, when they're showing you what it's supposed to actually look like while they're baking in the background, and then they take the like it crunches, and they take the bite, I'm just like, oh my God, I would give anything to have a chair next to you, to be sitting next to Noel and trying it in the back.
To be there eating the leftovers, just making bits with Noel, thinking about what our next bit is going to be. But the reason why I'm also so disgusted by your insult of doing the Great American Bake Off is because American reality, especially in this format, competitive show format, they don't do it right. This is how to do it.
That's not completely true.
The Great British Bake Off is even though it's a competition show, it's so soothing.
It's because of the accents.
No, it's a soothing show. No one's trying to eat each other alive. They're not like, get fucked, Laura. You stole my egg. That's American reality.
There's a couple of shows. What's the one with Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman?
That is cute. Making it. They specifically said that they were modeling after the vibes and the attitude of the Great British Bake Off, that that's what they were going for.
I also like the ones with the Lego competition with Will Arnett.
Yeah, I haven't really seen that.
Oh my goodness. See, another reason why I'm more well versed in competition shows apparently than you. So that makes me an even better addition to the show.
Oh, well, so I thought you even knowing about that show just really enforced the fact that you are in fact the suburban mom.
First of all, I am a suburban mom, which is what makes me a better candidate since I am such a juxtaposition to Noel, and I wouldn't be trying to steal his thunder whatsoever. I understand the dynamics.
I'm offended that you think I would be trying to steal his thunder. I'm only going to try and have the best time with him, party on, make fun bits. We're going to be so silly on the side. The crew is going to be like, oh my God, Meigs and Noel are fucking killing it over here today, guys. They're going to love it. The combo of us, we're going to be back and forth doing bits. I'm going to give him piggyback rides. It's going to be so fun.
No, see, Noel is not looking to be a dynamic duo. He's looking to be a single with a supporting actor.
I think you don't know.
And
Noel.
you are trying to be a dynamic duo. I do know Noel. I don't know.
You don't know how. You don't know how. I don't know. You don't know like I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, people, you know what? Vote. Who would be better?
By the way, shout out to Noel.
Shout out Noel. Shout out Noel. We love you. Shout out Hollywood crew.
If you want to come to Britain and be on the show, it doesn't matter in what capacity, we will be there.
Yeah, we'll sit in the corner. We'll just sit in the corner and watch. We just want to hang out in the garden. It's my dream job.
Well, I will give it to them. I do feel like these contestants are very impressive, and I do love like all the winter ones as well, the special holiday.
I like that you're horny for Paul Hollywood, and I'm horny for, what's his name?
I'm not.
Jigs, and then the latest hottie too.
I don't know who the latest hottie is.
Interesting how someone thinks they deserve this position. Chigs? You don't know Chigs? You don't know Chigs?
No, but I'm about to look it up. How do you spell that?
Chigs. And then what is his name? He was just Sandro. Oh, Sandro. I'm horny for Sandro.
Oh.
Chigs and Sandro.
Oh.
Meanwhile, you're over here horny for Paul Hollywood. That's also unprofessional. I'm trying to sleep with the contestants. You're trying to sleep with the boss? Okay.
Sandro is not bad looking either.
Sandro is very hot, and he gives bi energy, and it's hot. I'm very hot for Sandro.
Oh, interesting.
And Chigs.
Okay. All right. Well, here I am.
You should really watch the show.
Oh, stop
You know
it.
what you should do? Watch the show.
I will be.
You're like, oh, now I am. You're like, now that I know there's more horny content, I'm in.
Oh my God. My husband does listen. He is one of our three people out of UV. That's why I'm not really allowed to talk about Chris Hemsworth.
I see why there was those little side notes to make sure your marriage is safe.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about certain beautiful actors out there because it gets him upset. So we're not going to go down that avenue. Love you, husband.
Okay, no problem. I'll make sure to edit this. In a way where everyone's safe. But this makes sense. But also, hey, Justin, vote. Who would be better? Now that you know she's a little horny for Paul Hollywood, who would be better, me or her?
Do you know what else? I also love Prue's glasses and her adorable oversized jewelry.
I love it.
I would love to have a spot of tea with her, even though I'm not a big tea drinker. If you have a British accent, you're immediately like 3 points hotter, no matter what. Yeah, if you are a 4, you're now officially a 7. A British accent makes anyone seem more lovely or sexier or more adorable in general. You disagree?
No, I do love an accent.
See, exactly. Not all accents.
No, okay,
No.
most accents. Accents are great. Accents are Boner Town for sure. Boner Town, USA.
They just accent who you are.
But oh my God. But then the second you start busting out the bilingual second language, that's when I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in danger. That's what, the second you start speaking a different language, I literally am like, uh-oh, I'm not safe here. I'm going to do very regrettable things. Gotta go.
See, a second language doesn't do so much for me because I'm like, what are you even saying to me? Don't know.
That's when I use my imagination. That's what I don't care. I have invented a whole thing that you just said.
But if you speak to me in a language that I understand, aka English, with a sexy little Australian accent or a little British accent, I mean, meow.
Well, that gets into possibly our next topic is Tom Holland and Zendaya. My unhealthy obsession with Tom Holland and Zendaya. He's got the English accent. She's a tall, beautiful American.
How unhealthy is this obsession?
It's not well. It's not well.
Like on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most obsessed that you could possibly be.
Also, what a weird scale. Who does 1 to 5?
I did.
We usually get a 1 to 10, but okay, let's go halfsies.
I've just changed the scale for you.
Okay,
I'm throwing you off. If you were next to Noel, you'd have to be prepared for these things and not question him.
My bad. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Another reason why I'd be a better suit. One scale of 1 to 5.
On a scale of 1 to 5, I think I'm a solid 4.
Wow.
I don't have posters of them up. I haven't started cutting, making vision boards or whatever, putting Teen Beat up in my room. But I root for them. If there is videos, I'll watch the video. I'll watch all the clips where they talk about each other. People make compilations. And I'm I'm too old for this. I'm old. I'm rooting for them. I think they're so cute. I love when they're together. And normally I'm no paparazzi, guys. Who cares? Leave them alone. Please leave the celebrities alone. Who do we care? And on this occasion, I'm kind of it's okay if there's a little paparazzi so I get to see what they're doing today. Which is demented. That's so crazy. And also, I think it just makes me believe in love.
Oh my God. It says coming from you. There is.
They're so cute.
Is it because they're also, even though they are celebrities for sure, could it also be because they also seem like they try to stay away from the public often?
Yes. It's their whole energy. It's that they're Gen Z, because you know how much I love Gen Z. Gen Z is so cute. I love them. They're not Hollywood. They don't feel Hollywood. They're private enough, but also very comfortable saying how much that they do care about each other. It's so cute and so sweet. And I think every other couple is fake and everyone else is pretending in Hollywood and they're the only real deal. And it makes me understand why you see teenage girls sobbing over Justin Bieber and Selena, or sobbing over whoever is being mean to Taylor Swift. I'm now I get it. I think I would be pretty hurt over anything happening, but I dare even not say a negative towards their relationship, but I would be very sad if something happened between these two, because I love them as a couple so much. And it's delusional.
Well, I think you're putting out there to the universe that you'd like to be invited to their wedding one day.
I don't. I love this distance, but I love just receiving all the clips.
You're telling me that if they invited you to their wedding, that you wouldn't go?
No, I don't like going to weddings. I'm not trying to leave the house for a wedding.
Bull-hooey.
You're trying to leave the house for a wedding?
I love me a wedding.
Some weddings aren't fun. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, some weddings aren't fun. And I am can I get the fuck out of here?
I love, and you get to see their magical love and their vows for one another, which I bet would be
yeah,
so
you're right. You're right. I would go. And I don't usually like going to weddings, but you're right. I would 100%.
Would you want to go to Noel's wedding?
Noel is already married. And if you love the show half as much as I do, you would know that. But you don't. And yet you want my dream job. Okay? I don't like it. And by the way, I've never ever heard anyone say that they wanted that job. And I'm that's the job I want. I'm sure everyone does, but they never have said it out loud. They've never been so brave to announce it to the world. And I did. And you were I'd like to steal that. And I'm excuse you. You came in out of nowhere.
I didn't steal that. I said, I would like that job too. And you said,
there's only one position. If there was 2 positions, I'd say, let's do it. Let's go. I'll help you with your dreams. But there's only one position.
Then I guess Noel's going to have to be the tiebreaker.
Well, and speaking of reality TV threesomes, you got one going on your end.
I do. I've been super interested in the Below Deck Sailing Yacht season this season.
Okay, we talked about thruples, so I'm going to need you to kind of update me on the thruplness.
Have you watched Below Deck Sailing Yacht at all?
No.
So there's a lot of different Below Decks now. There's a Below Deck, then there's a Below Deck Med, and now there is Below Deck Sailing. And Below Deck Sailing Yacht, because the quarters are even smaller, it's just a slightly different vibe, but a lot of the same crew from last season came back this season. Gary, who is a playboy completely, okay? But he's always going for a girl, and he's super competitive about it, but he needs a woman's attention. And there was Daisy. She's the head of the interior. And then you have Colin, who is the engineer. And Colin last season was in a relationship. So he just was there for more so for looks. And he and Gary became like best friends. And Gary and Daisy hooked up after the season ended. It came out this season. They didn't tell people that they had slept together. Fast forward this season, Daisy and Colin have been getting together, and he did not know that they had slept together. Now, Gary and Daisy still have a lot of sexual tension and flirtation, even so much so that Daisy was asleep in Colin's bed the other night, and she woke up in the middle of the night, and she was like, Gary, what are you doing in my bed? I mean, she called Colin Gary.
She's having dreams, horny dreams about him.
She's like, the both of them are in my head because, well, she's surrounded by both of them. And there's been all this drama because Colin has felt like he was lied to by both of them.
Colin feels lied to?
He does, because he said that like they should have told him before he was like hooking up with Daisy, and that he just feels like he can't really trust them both now. But they kind of like, her and Gary always almost like kiss on the boat, and Colin's right there. And I feel bad for both of them. If you were in this relationship, would you be able to even like have another relationship if you were with
You already know my
someone?
answer. What are you even asking? No, I don't even want to be with either of them. What are you even asking me?
But you can't be, you have to take yourself out of like your natural state.
What do you do? Then how could I even relate?
I'm saying if you were in the position where it would encourage you to have to date somebody at this point in time, right?
No, thank you. That sounds gross. Gross. Grody.
If you had dated somebody and they were within your same inner circle, could you be in a relationship with somebody else in that same circle?
No, I wouldn't do that. That's weird. There's a whole ocean of dudes out there. You do not need to put anyone in that position. And also, like, how uncomfortable to like be in front of your ex trying to work out your new relationship. Like, branch out, guys.
Do you know how like the restaurant industry can be, and this is not the right word for it, okay?
Incestual.
That's what I was going to say.
I know you were, because it is.
But I think that boating is exceptionally the same thing, because you are with these same people in these extreme circumstances.
Well, I think you also make a great case for this whole situation. Is this a situation that they would put themselves in if the environment were different? If the environment were like, yeah, we clock out at 5, we go home, whatever. But if they're eating together, sleeping together, changing together, doing laundry together, like that creates a little bit of like almost like in the Bachelor world. You know how everyone's like starts freaking out over this one person, and you're like, would you even like this person if this wasn't the only person? And so maybe that this is not something that would happen if their worlds were a little bigger, but because they're all stuck together, they're all horny, they're all whatever, put them anywhere else and they would not have these same feelings. It's just about proximity.
I think that part of it is that Colin wasn't available last year.
I'm looking at Colin. You know who he looks like?
Who?
Kate +8 dad.
John Gosling, but hot, but like a good version.
I guess if that exists.
Colin also, he plays the guitar. Okay. I like it. I like Colin.
You know, with what you said to me about our one other listener, I'm going to have a hard time editing this episode with how horny you are. That falls on me to save your marriage, okay? That's a lot of pressure.
Oh my God. I can't even breathe.
He plays the guitar. He plays the guitar. He's, first of all, I've never heard hot version of John and Kate +8 John in my fucking life. Not only did I know that didn't exist, didn't even think I could hear it. And I was like, okay. We're getting into a weird place. And he plays guitar. And by the way that you said it is like, there's more. You're like, he plays guitar. Like, that's the first on the list of the horny things you're about to tell me. Like, oh my God.
No, he just... Oh my God. I think I'm just... Oh, okay,
and that's why I should have the co-host position with Noel. Look how funny I am.
Oh.
All right. Sorry, you were saying about this throuple.
Oh, God. Anyways, I feel like there is more that's going to be coming from this season, but it's an interesting dynamic. I mean, like Colin sleeps underneath Gary in a bunk bed. I guess in general, I'm the same as you. I feel like I don't think that I naturally could ever be in a situation where you're trying to start something new with when you have those eyeballs of somebody who you've like been intimate with. But in this particular case, it being very specific and these people living together, working and partying, and it's just this small group of people.
Also, sometimes that like threesome tension can make a situation hornier. It can make things like ignite a little bit more when there's that like a little bit of tension. Probably Colin is doing a little more for Daisy and doing a few more push-ups and a few more burpees because he's seeing Gary around, and Gary's making sure, you know, he's hitting his protein shake. Like everyone's a little bit on their game because they know.
I feel like Gary and Daisy are being inappropriate. Something's up there.
Okay, that's gross. You're kind of in deep on Bravo.
Oh, I'm always in deep. I mean, right now, there's been lots of changes, right? Like, we no longer have as much Scandival to talk about. I mean, we've never touched on Secrets Revealed, but I was highly disappointed.
Do you want to?
Oh, sure, we can.
I thought it was a snooze fest. Unnecessary snooze fest.
Thank you. I would have loved for them to not have done that episode at all.
That episode was completely unnecessary for me. That's why I haven't brought it up.
The fact that Raquel is videotaped the day after her and Sandoval had apparently, quote unquote, their first time consummating their relationship.
They did other stuff before they did that. That's why you don't do it in a car in front of your best friend's house. It's your first time hooking up.
And then she had the audacity to come over the next morning to their house and receive a dumpling latte.
I also thought it was a little bit gross and manipulative of Tom to offer specifically dumpling latte. Like, hey girl, I just fucked. Do you want to have an Ariana latte? My pet name for my girlfriend, Latte.
Gross.
Yeah, he's gross. I didn't really feel like, it was a very bad episode, and I think it would have been better if it didn't exist. However, I also thought it kind of only helped make Ariana not look so good.
In what way?
Part 3 of Vanderpump Rules, that didn't make Ariana look great. Again, we all know that was first time she saw Raquel 2 weeks after, so that was like a very fresh wound, and we're seeing it months later. But it didn't make Ariana look great. And then in Secrets Revealed, there was like a couple moments where, for example, this was tiny, and maybe it's because I've been oversaturated with Ariana and I don't need any more of her right now.
Whoa.
I don't know. The whole episode, I was like, this didn't make me feel great about Ariana. So 2 small moments. Again, they were super small. The film crew was there. She knew Raquel and Charlie were on their way over, and they knocked. They were there with fucking flowers. They knocked and they're like, hey, and let themselves in, which is, to me, like, if I'm expecting guests, the crew is there. So we all know they're filming. They all know. Everyone knows they're coming. And they just do a little knock and let themselves in a big ass house. Ariana was like, I hate it when people just like let themselves in. I'm like, that's a little delusional. You were expecting them. You're filming. They're bringing flowers. And you have this weird like critique of their behavior is bizarre.
Really didn't think you were going to go this deep in.
Sorry,
No.
well, but just she always has like a pretend friendliness, and maybe because she was in grief that kind of dropped, but that was just like weird, petty, weird. And then another thing is Raquel was kind of talking shit about Katie and Lala in front of Ariana, and Ariana's like kind of enjoying it. And
I think that Ariana has also enjoyed being the epicenter of like not taking the brunt from people. So she's really good about playing all the different sides.
Yeah, you're right.
She seemed to always take Raquel's side versus Katie's side a lot. You're about to go into business with this person. So I would think that she would take Katie's perspective a little bit more. And I do think that you just got to see some of what I've always felt about Ariana, which is I don't think that she naturally is a warm and fuzzy person.
Mm-hmm.
So for her making those comments, it feels very on brand for her.
Yeah, we might have OD'd a little bit on Ariana. What else in Bravo? You love OC.
I used to like OC more. I never liked Taylor on Beverly Hills, so I'm not loving her here. It feels a little bit like OC's reaching for something now that Vicky's not on.
Do you think it has the potential to be a good season, or do you think it's going to be a busted season?
I think Tamra is good TV.
Okay.
But I think that they're trying really hard to make the rest of the supporting cast work, and it just doesn't feel like it does to me.
Do you think they'll bring the Gumbelson back?
As much as I don't love Vicky either, Vicky is kind of good TV.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing is you might not actually like the person or the character, quote unquote. I call them characters because we can only know so much about a person from like a cut of reality TV.
What do you mean? We don't know them completely?
Yeah,
You're
because
lying to me.
Because, well, oh, sorry, I thought you were for real. I was like, oh, no. I'm going to have to tell Jackie about some stuff. But I think that some people, they are good TV. Even if we hate them, we're like, yeah, but we kind of need them here.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of reality TV, you know what might need to get blown up is good old Kardashians.
It's time. It's time. Put them in a mausoleum, okay? Let it be there. Fine.
They're already such beautiful little statues.
Only one that I would enjoy watching something about is Khloe.
If they did a Khloe and Scott show,
I would be there for it. In fact, when they used to do the spin-offs of Khloe and Kourtney, it primarily was Khloe and Scott.
Right. And you know what? They can all make little appearances here and there. I do love it. Maybe they have a little episode where Kim comes in and then other family members will just...
anything to do with Kim Kardashian.
I do love Kim.
Why?
Because, like, get fucked, society. Here comes this chick. And yes, she wanted to be famous, which, by the way, I think a lot, that's young, teenage, early 20s brain. So many of us are like, I would love to be famous. Blah. And that's a young person's, like, thing. So she wanted to be famous, admittedly. She was around famous people. And this sex tape happened to her. It's such a violation.
It didn't happen to her.
Okay, there's theories about that. We'll go into the deep conspiracy theories about that. She made a sex tape with her partner, which, by the way, it's not like it happened to her. It was an accident, but that's not for everyone. That's privacy. That's like between you and your partner.
That was put out by her camp. Let's put that one out there.
That is such a crazy thing, if that's true. That is such a crazy thing. That's a really harsh violation. She seems to not be in on it. So whoever else was...
I don't believe that.
No, I don't know. She gets really upset about it. Because
that was going to create ratings for their new show.
That whole timing wasn't that.
How do you think that they have lasted on TV this long?
Because of Chris.
Yeah, the momager of all people has continued to drop crazy bombs.
These are beautiful, beautiful billionaires. And we're like, Chris, whatever it is, you don't got the magic touch anymore. We are not interested. I usually watch the Golf Channel to fall asleep. Now I'm watching the Kardashians because I'm having a hard time falling asleep. I say, let me put on the Kardashians. Scott needs to be in there more. It needs to be the Scott and Khloe show. The Jenners can get all the way out. Kylie and Kendall, yeah. You don't need to be here, girls.
No, I've never been a Kylie fan. I actually like Kendall.
I love Kylie.
What could you love about Kylie?
She's adorable. She's funny. I love her.
She does not seem funny to me.
Wow. Okay, Gen Z is going to go after you.
Fine.
Okay, Gen Z's done with you.
If you took a before and after picture, I mean, there's no resemblance there. I don't know what you think is funny about her.
Good on you. I'm trying to get the Hadid's plastic surgeon number. I'm trying to look like one of those. You kidding me? Good for you. Look however you want.
Gigi Hadid looks exactly the same as she did when she was a child.
All right. Okay. Somebody's bias is showing. Somebody's bias is showing.
Bella Hadid also looks the same.
Okay, now you're wild.
You took me to the Hadids and you don't go to the Hadids.
I love the Hadids. I'm trying to look like a Hadid. I want their plastic surgeon's number.
They don't have a plastic surgeon.
Okay. We're going off on a tangent.
Yeah, we are for 2 seconds because we have to squash this. I watched Gigi Hadid come to life through Beverly Hills Housewives. Gigi, stunning. So let me be very clear here. I like Kendall. She's gorgeous naturally. Kylie just tried to make herself look like, she was just trying to make herself look like Kim for as long as possible. She doesn't seem funny. I've never thought that Kim was funny.
I didn't say Kim was funny. I said Kylie was funny.
She's not. What does she do that's funny?
She's just funny. She's charming. She's a good time.
Yeah.
That's who you want to go out with. That's who you want to drink with. That's who you want to go to dinner with. She's a good time.
No,
Brunch
I want
with.
to go out with Khloe all the time. Not no one else.
Of course, Khloe. Of course, Khloe.
Good for Khloe.
Khloe's number one. Khloe is number one. Okay, do your ranking. Do your ranking and I'll do my ranking.
Are we including Rob?
No.
Okay. So it's just the female cast.
Of course.
Okay, fine. I'm going Khloe, Kourtney, Kendall, Kylie, Kim.
That's wild positioning to me.
Why?
To me, Khloe is obviously number one. She should be obviously number one for everybody. She's carried the show. She's the best. She's given us the most. Khloe is number one. She's the Usain Bolt of that family. Second place isn't even close to Khloe. So I just want to make that clear. Yeah. Khloe is number one. Wait, are we including Scott?
No, if we didn't include Rob,
okay,
who's
all right,
blood, because if Scott,
Rob's not on the show. Scott's on the show.
Well, if Scott is included, then it definitely goes Khloe, Scott.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's Khloe, Scott, and then for me, it's Kim, Kylie.
Oh my God,
Kendall, Kourtney.
Whoa.
Kourtney's the bottom. And by the way, Kendall and Kourtney to me are very bottom. Way far away on the bottom.
Why? What is your beef with Court?
I think in the earlier seasons, I really liked Kourtney. As Kourtney has started getting out there and dating and whatever, I have the same issues with Kourtney that her sisters have, which is you're not giving anything. You're super selfish. You're very boring. And even in the examples of this season, she's under a delusion that things should be about her. It's weirdly halfway performative, and she wants everyone to have this idea of her and this idea of her relationship.
So I have not watched a season of Kardashians in quite some time, so I am solely basing this off of past stuff. However, do you think that because her relationship with Scott was so publicly put out there, and it was for so long, and all their issues, that to a certain degree she wants to be current, she wants to be known, she still wants the publicity of it all, but she doesn't want people to be able to truly see inside her relationship?
She wants to have her relationship have a specific narrative. She wants her and Travis to have a very specific narrative and the public to think a very specific thing about her and Travis. I think it's all about, she wants the public to say, oh, that was so bad what Kourtney was in, but look at the fairy tale fantasy she's in now. But she gets very upset if people aren't saying that for whatever reason. I don't think people think that they're not in love and people don't think they have a good relationship. It's almost like she likes people to be talking about it, and she doesn't like it if people are talking about anything else. That's what it is. She wants people to be jealous of her. She wants people to be jealous of their relationship. And then if they just start literally talking about or doing anything else, she starts freaking out and being territorial and be like, no. She's weird. She's a weird element. What she says and what she does are not the same thing.
Okay, I feel like her and Kim, remember, they're very close in age. I think there's always been a little bit of competitiveness that they both kind of mold into this other version of themselves when they're in certain relationships to what their partners want. But I think both of these women, they kind of get into these love bubbles and don't want anyone to pop them.
I don't even think it's that, because Kourtney really tries to strongly write her narrative the way she wants it to be. So she's like, oh yeah, I'm a health nut. Oh yeah, I'm vegan. Oh, I'm a good mom. Oh, this is what I care about, being a mom. And anytime she would do anything that wasn't in that narrative and her sisters would call her out, oh, I thought you were vegan. Oh, I thought you were organic. Oh, I thought you were whatever. She would freak. She would just be like, I hate you guys. Why do I even film this show? She wants to write the narrative and she wants everyone to think that's what the narrative is. I don't even think that it necessarily has to do with her relationship, because she's done that with other aspects of her personality, like the organic, vegan, clean, healthy mom, only being about mom life.
But she had a business based around that too. So if someone questions that, then it also...
Not really, though. She only no, this was before Poosh. This was when she was regular old, didn't have businesses. She was mostly on the reality show.
They did have businesses. She used to be the one who predominantly was doing the business.
As a person of the public, as an audience member, didn't associate her being with any sort of organic brands or super mom. She was always a Kardashian. And maybe that's something that she was upset by. You know, she wanted to be these things. She wanted to be these narratives. She wanted to have these titles, but everyone associates her as being a Kardashian. And maybe that's what really bothers her, is that she wants to have a certain story written about her. She wants to have a certain life, a certain fantasy, and she is upset because it always ends up being that she's a Kardashian. I don't know, but it's weird.
I think that you kind of nailed it on the head about the fact that they all live in these weird fantasy worlds. Their celebrity has become so much a part of who they are. And remember, they have been on TV for decades. And so that is a long time to not really get to choose a path of your own.
Let's thank Khloe. Her continued dedication to serving the nation and the world and maybe beyond the universe. That human, I love her so much. In my eyes, she can do no wrong. She's not often honored for her contributions to society. I adore her.
Look, I got into a very heated debate with a couple of my coworkers years ago.
Who and why were they so wrong?
Khloe Kardashian and having had a butt implant.
Oh, who cares?
And I personally think she never has.
Okay, all right.
Girl is looking fly, and she just deserves the most happiness.
Yeah, I love her so much. She's a national treasure.
If you had to choose between her and Scott, who are you choosing?
Weirdly, that was like a harder question than I thought. I would get rid of everyone else to just have the two of them.
Yeah, but also what made it also kind of magical, which this is not a great thing, is his odd dynamic with Courtney.
Yeah, maybe that has a little something to do with it. And maybe that's, I think, why the magic exists between Khloe and Scott, is because they truly have a great chemistry, and also the weirdness of their family always looms. And maybe that's why it's such a great and interesting dynamic.
So are you then a fan of Kris Jenner, since she's the one who technically...
I weirdly have complicated feelings about Kris Jenner because I think she's evil and also awesome. So here's the thing. I think she's a creep and a businesswoman first, and she's willing to exploit her kids. At the same time, I think that she does care about all of their well-being. She's gonna take care of them, especially financially, no matter what. And she's gonna make sure they're successful no matter what. And also, like, to have a billionaire matriarchy, like a whole family of women who are billionaires, hot billionaires, who came from not nothing, but so many families and stars have started out in the same position and haven't achieved what they've achieved. There is something enviable about her business acumen, business brain. There is something admirable about it. I have very complicated feelings about Kris Jenner. What are your feelings?
I'm a Kris Jenner fan. Kris has always been, I think, entrepreneurial. She has taken social media to a completely different level. And she really propelled this reality TV world. So you have to kind of give kudos to the woman who does that.
I agree. That's why it's hard. That's why it's very complicated, because I've seen what she can turn something into. If she can switch the whole narrative on society about a situation, and that is not nothing.
That isn't nothing. And also, for as public as they have all been, Kris Jenner has kind of stayed out of the media. All of the action is truly on her kids and those kids that really want it to be out there. She did a very good job for a very long time shielding Kylie until Kylie really wanted to come into her own. She did a really good job even shielding Kendall. You really didn't hear about Kendall's personal life at all, except solely focused on Kendall's specific career, which was modeling, becoming a gorgeous supermodel. And any of these endeavors that her children have wanted to go and do, she's, I think, done a phenomenal job.
There are a lot of very fair critiques about Kris Jenner, but all of her daughters, all of her children in general, she always really tries to get them exactly what they want, makes their dreams come true, even how they want it to come true. Even though they're all famous and they're all famous from this reality show, to a degree, they all have a little bit of a different version of business and a different version of fame, one that accommodates their personality to a degree. They have entered in a different level of fame for sure, but it is all or mostly Kris is doing. And even the girls will say it's all her. It's all momager. She knows how to do this, which is so
I would
interesting.
be very curious to see what life is like if they don't have a show.
I think they could do without the show at this point, for the most part. I would love to still have Khloe and Scott, like I said.
I think that they could too, but I do think that their identity is made up in the show and it's what keeps them a little more relevant.
But I don't think that is the case anymore. The show's running right now and I don't care. I'm like, all right, I got nothing else. I'll hit the Kardashians up.
Yeah.
I just feel like I have very complicated feelings towards Kris Jenner. And again, like I see all the criticisms, they're all very fair. And at the same time, she can take the worst reputation. She can take the worst situation. And society can also feel that way about those situations or reputations. And she can flip them into not only a thing that is not negative anymore, like it's not a negative thing to be a reality star anymore. It is not a negative thing that her daughter had a sex tape. And granted, society is changing too, but I really do think that her persistence and her reforming of those has a little something to do with why society doesn't think those things anymore. Kris Jenner has a hand in all of that. And I just think that, yeah, I think she's very interesting. I think it's, again, super complicated because I also think business is gross in general. Inherently, capitalism is gross. But the fact that these are women, the fact that they're a family, the fact that they're sexual and still taken seriously is all super kind of cool and kind of interesting. And a lot of their street cred goes to Kris Jenner.
I would simply just like to say, R.I.P. Kardashians. It's time to say goodbye. That's where I live.
And then the final topic that I wanted to talk about, matriarchies destroying planet Earth or actually maybe saving planet Earth, again, super complicated, is the orca whales attacking the yachts.
It's very on par for our current podcast. I actually know nothing about this, so please enlighten me.
So they initially started out as like a single little pod of orca whales, and they were going and attacking yachts, specifically yachts. That's a narrative. Yachts, boats, more luxury style boats, and
which is my favorite kind of boat. In case anyone wanted to know, I'm not a sailor. I like yachts.
Yeah, and they're all motorized, and they're going and they're attacking the rudder. I'm going to say rudder because rudder's Wi-Fi. They're attacking the rudder and destroying it. And so the boat becomes immobilized. The boat is just sitting there floating. Now, a couple times they went a little too far and this ship started sinking. There was no attacks on the humans. They had to call in the Coast Guard to come save them. But now they're starting to get more pods in on it. So there's a theory behind it. There's a bunch of theories. Some of the theories are like one of the whales got hurt by one of these boats, blah, blah, blah. But there's another theory. Normally ships have a very specific path. The big ships have a certain path. Well, the yachts are rich people that are going out just straight up fucking cruising. They got no business. They're chilling. They're out here partying loud, good time. They have a theory. There's a working theory right now that because these yachts are not going on familiar paths, again, business ships are like, we're going to A to B. We're not out here. It's not at every time of day. There's a very specific path on ships that have business. The yachts, however, are all up and down paths, crossing paths, putting animals at jeopardy every hour of the day, bumping music, loud. And they think it's a retaliation. And they're like, shut up. Just shut up. Go back home. Can you just like at least leave this area alone? You guys got out of the area. We don't swim in certain areas so that way the boats can boat in those areas and you're off the path. And we're sick of it. And I like it. So this is predominantly happening in Spain, correct? I think it's. So I feel more comfortable. Just so you were worried in Florida that they were going to come hit you. You were worried that it would affect your yachting, your yacht days. I feel bad for orcas because they're given the name killer whales because they are. They're murder weapons. Okay, murder weapons of the sea. They're taking down giant whales. They're taking down great whites. There is no one more dangerous. Okay, that's called defending themselves. Sometimes they look like they're partying. They're having a good time murdering. Yeah, and so, you know what? Maybe they're having a killer good time instead. Oh, shit, bitch. Which was what I'm saying. They're properly named. Yeah, maybe. But I just feel like, they're beautiful. And I think that they're being given a bad name. And I think that they're just telling some people, like, hey, don't mess with my territory. That's what I'm saying. I think humans, we have overreached. We've gone too far. We want too much. We want the luxury boats wherever we want to boat on them, whenever we want to boat on them. We want it all. And by the way, We're humans. Of course, that's our nature. But I think when nature is pushing back, we have to be like, okay, chill. We just don't go there. Because they haven't attacked any humans. They haven't hurt any humans. They just want the boat to stop. To me, if you're not eating humans, what more can we ask for? You know, hey, they have said we don't speak orca, and they politely said, no, thank you. You're not welcome here.
Is this happening when the boat is like moving or when the boat is like...
From my understanding, it can be happening when the boat is moving, and it also can be happening when the boat is not. I don't think that it's that specific. I think it's more of a where than a how. And I love orca whales, and I think we've done them so dirty to think that we've held them captive. There's a saddest ass video of this orca whale, just so sad, all by itself in this little fucking bathtub of like, what is it, like SeaWorld or Undergate or Seagate or something. And it breaks my heart because these are creatures that swim up and down the planet Earth, and you have them in a tub that you could not even see in a map, and they're just sitting there depressed. We've done them dirty. We've done orcas dirty so fucking many times for so many years that if they take down a few boats, guess what? That's a mild payback. Mild payback. They're just saying, you guys need to quit. You're loud. And by the way, our humans are loud. You're invasive. And by the way, humans are invasive. Can you please, this is our neighborhood. You're in my house. Can you please get out of my house? And that's it. And we should at least have the decency to be like, okay. But some people are getting very defensive and they're like, we need to figure out a way to stop these whales. And I have 2 ideas.
Oh, you actually have ideas as to how to stop them?
Yes, because we obviously can't do violence, right? No violence allowed. So I think we bring a giant biodegradable, like it's made of leather or something, beach ball for them to play with. Be like, here guys, look, we come in peace. Pop, pop. It'll biodegrade. It's made out of leather. It's a little beach ball. You guys can play with it. Bring them toys, not food. Because if we bring them food, it'll be a seagull situation. Then they're a bear situation. Then they're coming for the boats. But if we give them a little toy, be like, there you go. And then we can just take the boat, boop, boop, and it'll be like our peace offering. Like, guys, please, we'll be out of here. Oh, you showed up. Here's a ball. We'll get out of your way. I don't know if this will encourage bad behavior, but also my other alternative is let's just not go in that area because we know orcas don't like it. Or they don't like motorboats and they can go on one of your below deck sailing yachts.
I've done a tiny bit of research during this little situation, and here's my feelings. I think that this primarily, what most people are saying is that White Gladys, who I think is like this mature orca, potentially was hurt by a boat and is now teaching the other younger orcas.
That I think that narrative has been debunked.
Oh, okay. Well, then this is proof that we literally have no facts when talking. My feelings are...
We're just making shit up.
Left and right. But my feelings are this. Leave the orcas alone.
Yeah.
And if you are wealthy enough to have a yacht, then you can get your rudder fixed. We are invading their territory. Okay? The waters are theirs. We are utilizing it for our own joy and pleasure. And this is their homeland. And
right. That's leisure for you. That's home for them.
Get out of their water paths because they're following the food. So don't be in that area.
Yes.
And if you are, then you might get your boat destroyed.
You're killing it, bitch. You're fucking killing it.
Plain and simple. And you know what?
And down with billionaires.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to leave it at that stance.
I love it. This was beautiful. And we wrapped it up with a little nature.
Recycle, y'all.
Recycle. Keep the world healthy. Billionaires eat the rich. Down with billionaires. Tax them, motherfuckers. You shouldn't exist. You're destroying Earth, billionaires. Okay. Well, I love you very much.
I love you.
Thank you. And you know what? Even though you crushed my dreams at the beginning of this podcast, the fact that you're bringing hope to Earth makes me feel a little bit better about you. The fact that you want Earth and the orcas to be healthy and happy and safe, it makes me feel like maybe you're not all for crushing my dreams.
Well, in case your dream was that UFOs existed, I don't believe that they do, so there's another dream crushed.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it another time.
Next time.
All right. Perfect. Well, I love you.
Love you.
Thanks for listening to What Are Y'all Talking About. We'll see you next time.
Love you, Noel.
Love you, Noel. I love you more, Noel. Obviously,
love you the most.
There's evidence that I love you more.
I love you more. Thanks, Bye. Bye.